Just adding Sam, or Sam's just adding me into his live. Just give me 1 sec. Okay, right. I think I've got everything up on my side. Here we go. Get the stretch.
So I'm just sort of live.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, whilst we're waiting for Sammy Boy to send me the invite to TikTok, my name's Sean from Seller Smart. I am very inconsistent with lives lately. It's been very chaotic in the background. Lots of stuff going on, but I'm just jumping in live whenever I can. Sam actually wasn't going to join me today, but he's been very gracious to embrace us with his good Lord, with his presence. I can't talk today. And
Hello,
you're not
everyone.
even here to defend yourself on TikTok.
No, I'm coming. Right, invite sent.
Perfect. Here we go. Right. Finally, here we go. Right. So how are you today, Sammy boy?
I'm all right, mate. I'm good. Busy, but good. How are you?
Busy, but good is the statement of our year, isn't it?
Yes, I think so, mate. It's been one busy old year, isn't it?
It has, and it's only getting busier, but it's exciting. Things are growing pretty quickly, which is really cool to see. I have certain figures in my mind that I want to hit, and I actually think we are going to do it if we keep pushing. So it's very exciting. That's one of the biggest reasons I love business. You set these goals and see what you can accomplish with like every day you're learning something new, every day you're actioning something different. So that's one of the reasons I love business the most.
Yeah. Oh, there's a bit is that your mic going?
How's that?
Yeah, that's better. Your aircon going today?
Can you hear that in the background?
Yeah, it's not that loud though, to be fair. It's all right.
It's not that warm in here, to be fair, so there we go.
It's actually been a lot cooler recently, which is a bit nice.
Yeah, it's still pretty hot in this room just because of the insulation around me, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, I can imagine.
What's your so I just said mine. What's your favorite element of running a business, Sam?
My favorite element is the time and the freedom for me to be able to do essentially whatever I want to do, which is the massive benefit. Although it hasn't really been like that recently because it's been so busy, but it will come back around.
Yeah, absolutely. Isiv, thank you for letting me know. I'm glad it's better. I'm going to have to try and figure out how to have the AC on without it being too disruptive next time.
It's not too bad, to be fair, mate.
Yeah, I've turned it off.
Well, no, even before it wasn't that bad. You can just hear it in the background slightly.
Yeah, so I mean, what Sam just said is so true, right? We get into business originally because we want time freedom, and then when your business gets good and busy, you end up working way harder than you ever would if you ever worked for someone else. And now I'm at a point, I don't know about you, Sam, but whenever I hear about my friends complaining because they work so hard over 40 hours in the week, I'm like, yeah, boo-hoo, 40 hours.
I know, it's funny that, because you always think when you start your own business, you're not going to be working as much, but you end up working a lot more. But I guess it's something you actually enjoy doing, and it's for yourself. So there's more reward out of it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's infinitely better. It's not even the same thing, not even comparable. And exactly. as you say, the rewards to your hard work go to you, don't they? You're not the middleman for someone else.
Yes, exactly that. That is, the worst thing.
Who have we got in the live today? Have we got anyone I recognise? Elliot, welcome to the live, mate. I recognise your name. Hey, mate, how's your day going so far? Thank you for joining. No one on TikTok, and welcome everyone on YouTube as well. I don't think we get that many people on Facebook, but I'm sure we can build that over time.
I don't know, you're live on Facebook.
Yeah, on the streaming software we're using, we're live on Facebook, X, YouTube. Augustus McGee, welcome to live. Thank you for joining. Hello to you as well. So So regarding Amazon updates, you want to talk about what you've been going through, or do you want to wait until it's in the clear?
Let's wait until it's in the clear because it's currently
Don't jinx it.
Hopefully it'll be all right. Next week we shall see.
Yeah, fair.
Ain't looking good.
What did you say, sorry?
I said it's not looking good.
You'll be fine. We'll sort it. Isiv, is this Amazon FBA? What are you guys all about, please? Do you guys help us start from scratch? Yes, Isiv, it is about Amazon FBA. We do help everyone start from scratch. We have the only ecosystem in the UK that has everything you guys need built in-house by our company. So we have a prep center, we've got virtual assistant recruitment, we've got free resources to help you get started, we've got group coaching, we've got one-to-one coaching, we've got an account recovery expert in our team, we've developed the software over the last 2 years. We have a discount gift card portal. We post videos on our YouTube channel and we go live as often as we can. Try to go live 30 hours a month, but lately that hasn't been happening. We've been too busy. But yeah, try to give as much free value as we can. I'd say we give about 80 to 90% for free, and then the rest is the good stuff that we save for our mentees.
Exactly that. And we had someone else join us today, which is good.
Yeah, we just had Scott join the mentorship today, which is very exciting. And I don't want to jinx it, but I think we'll have 2 more by the end of today as well.
Oh, mate, on fire.
Is it Scooby? Yeah, Scooby said, "Hi, Amazon keep rejecting one of my invoices. What can I do to get ungated on that product?" Scooby, what you're talking about is standard practice for Amazon. Ungating has never been you apply and then you get ungated. You've always had to reapply 5 to 10 times, sometimes even more. My record is 20. There's a checklist that you can follow. So every single application, always try a different application. There's loads of things that you can change and tweak to get it accepted, as long as it's from a major retailer or an authorized distributor of the brand. Otherwise, it won't get accepted. You have to make sure your billing information and your company name is on the invoice. Otherwise, Amazon might not accept that. So on your first application, you can give it as is. It gets rejected. Second one, just give it as is again, see what happens. You could do that 3 to 5 times. After that, if it doesn't work, change the comment on the application, try again, new application. You can annotate the invoice, highlight the key bits of information that it's asking for. Try again. You can flip the invoice. You can change the file type from JPEG to PNG. There's loads of different things that you can try to increase the odds of you getting accepted on your ungates.
Yeah, and to an example from today, I sent off an invoice to get ungated in a brand, and their response was, "We cannot accept this invoice because you didn't attach anything." When I know for a fact I attached something, so it just shows how terrible it is. The responses are 99% absolutely useless and don't mean anything. So you just need to keep submitting and keep putting the invoice in.
Yeah, it is an incredibly broken system, and apparently it annoys people at Amazon as much as it annoys sellers. So I have no idea why they haven't solved it as a problem. I think they invest all of their money into the customer side of things, but not the seller side of things. But that's where we can help. Yeah. Isiv, awesome. Thank you. No problem at all. Elliot, human indigestible ungate is only £56 right now. Decided to buy it now while I have spare capital. Definitely need to work on my sourcing more. Yeah, investing some money in ungating is a good idea. I did a lot of that in the first 3 months, and within 6 months, I never really had problems with ungating, although that was back then, in 2023. Yeah, it's a good idea. Like, if you can sell what you've bought, that's also useful. If you can resell it and get some money back. Otherwise, just use the products or whatever. Elliot, you've been saying you need to work on your sourcing. Sam, what's happening with our sourcing, cheaper sourcing course?
I still need to record the videos. I've completely forgotten about it, to be honest. The last few weeks have been manic. My time's getting freed up a bit more now, so next week I can get in the studio and just get those last bits recorded, and then we can finally get it out. But yeah, my bad, it has taken a lot longer than we anticipated.
I think we're genuinely getting to that point where we might have to have another coach in the mentorship soon alongside you. What do you think?
It's been busy. I think the last 2 weeks hasn't helped because I've been prepping a load of my own stuff, and I've prepped like 2,500 units, sort of the last couple of weeks, and that's just taken so much time. So that's just sort of stopped me doing anything. But I think it's been okay. I think there's a lot going on. I'm obviously moving, so there's a lot of stuff I need to sort out for that. So that's sort of taken up my time. But I think now the prep's out of the way, that should be, yeah, it should be good. Smooth sailing, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of people are sort of at the end of the mentorship now as well, so that's quite good because then it frees up my time to spend on other people.
In compulsory 6-7, got to do it. Do you have any idea what that means, Sam, or are you too old for it?
I don't. I know I've seen people talk about it and do it, but I have no idea where it's come from or what the actual meaning behind it is.
No, I don't know either, to be honest. Yeah, Elliot, you said you definitely need to work on your sourcing. It's a skill, mate. It will come with time. Just keep learning. You're consistent. You join these lives. If at any point you're ready to come and work with us, just let me know. Because you join these lives so often, we'll sort you out in some way, and then I can let you know when our sourcing course is coming out. I am going to do a lot more YouTube long form videos soon. I keep saying that. It's been very hard to plan anything, but I might have some exciting updates around our content soon. But again, I'm not going to say anything just yet because I need to provide a proposal to Reese, Cow, and Sam to see what they think. Got a good idea on something that I think could really improve our socials, but need to figure out first.
Sounds good. As long as it makes it easier for you and everyone to record it and stuff, because it is a slog.
It's challenging, isn't it? Like, guys, you should know when you're working a 9 till 5 and you're doing Amazon, that's challenging. Imagine doing like Baby on the Way, Amazon, Seller Smart, and all the content and everything. It's challenging, and like it's all about time allocation. If you put time here, you're taking time away from over there, and you just have to accept that you can't do everything. You have to prioritize what is a priority to you, and you just have to be realistic. I've spoken to so many people who get really, really stressed by looking at a big task and seeing it as the mountain it is to climb rather than the individual actions that you have to take to get through the task slowly. I've just never been that way. Do you get stressed by big tasks? My brain just doesn't get flustered by stuff like that.
I don't say I get stressed, but I kind of always put them off. I always end up doing everything sort of the last possible moment I have to do it, and I do that with almost everything in life, and it's pretty frustrating, to be honest with you. I wish I just sort of did something when I need to do it, but almost anything, whether it's personal, business, I know, right, my deadline is end of July, and I'll wait until the last possible day, and then I'm frantically rushing around trying to get it sorted out. I don't know why I do it. It's, annoying.
Even more impressive that you've been as successful as you have been then, if that's something you've been dealing with.
Wow, yeah. I suppose maybe it's just down to pure luck as opposed to any skill whatsoever.
There's a really funny story about I think it was Vivaldi, was it Vivaldi or Tchaikovsky? One of them. One of his biggest opera concertos. He actually wrote it the morning of the show because he procrastinated so hard. He didn't write it until the morning.
That kind of sounds like me, although I probably never produced something as amazing as whatever that is.
I bet with AI you could.
Possibly, yeah, true.
Scooby said, "Thank you, no problem at all." Did I miss a question? No, I didn't. Also, I've joined, which has taken loads of your time. Soz, that's from Jay. Yeah, Jay, we've been enjoying your enthusiasm. Actually, you are like gung ho, and I love it. I love the enthusiasm you have. So we're very excited to see what you do, Jay.
Yeah, it'd be good to get you started, get you through that course, mate, and then we can start working on everything else.
Yeah, for sure. Aqua, you said, what are we talking about? So on TikTok, we actually have a separate banner, but I keep forgetting to put it on the YouTube side of things. We do Amazon FBA. We've built an ecosystem for Amazon FBA sellers to help you start, scale, and automate your business. We are tech focused, but we haven't released our software outside of our mentorship yet. And so far we, as I said yesterday, we have 170, I think it is, 170 positive reviews, no negatives. We work very hard with the people who decide to work with us. And it can be a hell of a business model as long as you're willing to put the work in. It is not get rich quick. It does come with headaches. And I think that's fine. I think as long as you're, social media incorrectly leads people to assume that there are really easy business models. There aren't. They're all hard. They all take work. They all take time. And you've just got to pick your poison with what you enjoy to do, because Amazon isn't for everyone. Just the same way as YouTube automation didn't work for Sam, or drop shipping didn't work for me. It does work for some people. Just because it didn't work for us doesn't mean it doesn't work for anyone else. And it's the same with Amazon.
Sorry,
good input, Sam.
Sorry, right, I just need to send that message dealing with the prep. But yeah, look, every business, I think most businesses you can make it work. It just depends on your skill set, I suppose, isn't it? Like you say, just because something doesn't work for you or I, doesn't mean it's not going to work for anyone else. You need to work to the skills you have, and work around that. Because there's hundreds of jobs out there which are going to be really good and really beneficial, but I probably won't be able to do them. I know that I can do Amazon. I'm good at Amazon, so that's where I stick to.
Rapanaki, I fixed my audio. Is that better, or is that still bad? Do I sound okay to you, Sam?
Sounds fine to me, mate.
Okay, interesting. I'm new to Amazon FBA, and I'd appreciate if you could explain winning the buy box to me. Fwedwick, I love your name. Have you seen that guy on Instagram who's like, "Hello, princess"? That's how I read Fwedwick's name.
I don't think I've seen that.
He like slaps his feet together and he goes, "Hello, princess." That guy? Not seen that?
I've not seen that.
You're missing a trick. All right, Fwedwick. I'm new to Amazon. I would appreciate if you could explain winning the buy box to me. Yeah, so the buy box is determined by lots of different factors. Your account health is really important. If you have a good account health, that's going to increase your time in the buy box. Your inventory performance index, your IPI score, that's going to affect your time in the buy box. How much stock you have in comparison to other sellers on the listing. If another seller has a lot more stock than you, they're likely to get the buy box over you, especially if they've got more seller reviews on their account. Seller reviews is another important thing. Where your stock is geographically located to the customer ordering it, that has an effect. So if my stock is at an Amazon fulfillment center right next to someone who's placing an order, I'm more likely to get the buy box over someone who's on the other side of the country, because Amazon want to get it to them next day, and geographical location affects your time in the buy box. That isn't something you can control. You can't control which FC your stock gets sent to. It's just one of those arbitrary things that does affect it. You want to analyze your listings correctly and make sure the listing is selling a certain amount of times per month. We say a minimum of 30, 50 plus is good. You want to analyze your competition on the listing, and you want to make sure that you're profitable even if the price drops. That's quite important. And that's pretty much the majority of what affects your time in the buy box.
Yeah, pretty much the main things. I think what price and fulfillment type are going to be the most important, and then everything else sort of follows that.
Yeah, that's a good point. FBA sellers are typically going to get more buy box time over FBM, but that discrepancy has reduced. That's gone down a lot. FBM sellers tend to get a lot more time than they used to now. Still not as much as FBA though.
Yeah, that's true.
Jay said, "I love it. 43 years and I finally got ADHD meds, and it's given me a new lease of life and belief." Love it. That's really cool. I'm really glad to hear that, mate. It's a mixed bag with ADHD meds. Some people respond really well to it. Some people, it takes a bit of an adjustment period. I think Reese has just started trying some ADHD meds. I'm pretty sure he has. And he tells me that I have it as well. But if I have it, I see it as a superpower, because I can definitely outwork 99% of people.
Does Reese have it, does he?
Yeah, I don't know if he's saying it publicly, so maybe I shouldn't have said
Yeah.
that.
He seemed like the guy to have it anyway. He seems pretty chilled out most of the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say when he was talking to me about it, I was like, Reese is a like dynamite worker. Like he grafts really hard in the background, but like every person with ADHD, I think he's got like 100 projects going on at once, which is very true for me as well.
Yeah, that tends to be the way that happens, isn't it?
Harry, just starting up, awaiting more on the company startup side. Any tips for learning the tools such as Keeper? Harry, welcome to the live, mate. Good job getting started. I don't know if you set up your business with Tide, but Tide is the cheapest way to register a company with Companies House in the UK now. I am very annoyed at the government for increasing the price of starting a new business, among many other things that I'm annoyed about the government for. Tips for getting started. You need Keeper and SellerAmp SaaS. And we have lots of free resources that you can download in our Discord community or on our website. And on our YouTube channel, we have videos that demo little bits of it. We have a mentorship and we have courses. So I will be honest, most of we give 80 to 90% for free, but we do charge for some things, especially in our mentorship. But we're more than happy to answer your questions on this live. And in the coming weeks, I will do more instructional videos on Keeper and SellerAmp SaaS, and of course, our software when we're ready to start marketing it. You guys have proven the YouTubers are fake. A real business takes time, investment, and learning. Yeah, there are some creators in the Amazon space that we really rate. There's some really respectful, good guys out there, but there's twice as many people that say very dubious things that you have to be very careful about. I went on TikTok for like 5 minutes, swiping around people's lives to see what they were saying. And I saw like 3 people saying you could start with £300 and make 10K profit within 3 months. I was like, good grief. Like the amount of BS coming at, yeah.
Yeah, that's completely delusional. Like it's never going to happen. Like if you're going into it with the mindset of that, no wonder people who sell courses, mentorship, and stuff like that get slated because that's just it's completely unrealistic. And I'm not being funny. If you're starting with 300 quid, you're not going to make 10K. You're probably not even going to make 10K a month in the first year, let alone 2 years. It's going to take you a long time with that. So that is just a complete lie.
Yeah, it's just a load of tosh. And like Amazon is a great business model. It is a business model that requires capital. It's just the reality of it. I know loads of people who want to do it, but they just don't have enough cash to start. And honestly, if you have less than £1,000, don't even bother. Like, look for something else. Just do eBay. Work in your job and earn a bit of extra cash until you've got enough money. We typically work with people who have career jobs, probably a little bit more experience. Our demographics typically are about 50-50 men and women, 28 to 35-year-olds, been in a career for a while. And like, obviously that's going to be the case because that's what we are. Tends to attract like. But yeah, it's not a good business model to choose if you don't have any money because it's a very capital heavy business model.
Yeah, it is. Obviously, the more capital you have, the easier, and the more you're going to scale, the quicker you're going to scale. But it's definitely doable with less capital. But I think, yeah, I would say £2,000 is probably like the cutoff. Anything less than that, you want to focus on, yeah, like eBay or Vinted, or I don't know, just something else to try and build up your capital before you then go into Amazon. I think like the churn cycle on Amazon is quite long-winded. Like you have to buy the products, you have to wait for them to be delivered, you then have to prep them, you then have to send them into Amazon, you then have to wait for them to sell. Once they've sold, Amazon then keep your money, Amazon, you can't disperse your money for 2 weeks after they've sold, or no, less than that now, 7 delivery day plus sort of 7 days, so almost like a week and a half. And then when Amazon disperse you the money, you have to wait another sort of 4 days. So that whole process can take like 2 months sometimes, sometimes less. So yeah, the less you have, the harder it is because your money is just going to be tied up for a long time.
Yeah, it is by far, it's one of the biggest challenges with Amazon is cash flow. In the beginning, you're gated in everything and you think that's the hardest problem, but it's not. Cash flow becomes more challenging over time. And you go over to eBay. eBay, you make a sale and you get paid for it next day. It's amazing. At Amazon, if Amazon had that cash flow return, crikey, it would be such a better business model. But let's be real. I'm sure they probably do a lot of things with your money in the background to make themselves extra money, which is why it takes so long to give out your capital.
100%. So Terry's commented on YouTube, and he's rumbled. I've been rumbled. He said he's called us nerds to start with, and then he said, "Is this what you blew me out for?" So I was supposed to have a call with Terry at 12. Then Sean started pestering me and harassing me to jump on a live. So I had to jump on a live for an hour, and then we can have a call. Terry, I am sorry, mate. This is what I blew you off for.
I've got to be honest with you. I misread your sentence, Terry, and I thought you meant something entirely different. So I'm really glad that's what you meant.
Coming from Terry, I am not. I won't be that surprised.
Glenn Lacey and Athea, welcome to live. Thank you for joining. Lee G, Mr. Hayden, welcome to live. I see you guys in the background. Thank you for joining. All right, where did I lose? Mr. Hayden, yep, we are laughing 3 new PL products we're launching 3 new PL products right now. Large ad spend is required to even have a chance. Yeah, so Mr. Hayden, we actually do arbitrage and wholesale. I am intrigued by private label. I've never tried it myself. Sam tried it recently and had a disaster and ended up not even being able to launch it. Did you?
Yeah, it was a right disaster. It was a waste of money, waste of time, massive headache, and it was painful. And now all the products are slowly getting taken to the dump to get rid of. And annoyingly, so my missus, she took a load of them to the dump, and then they asked what it was, and she sort of told them, and they said, "Oh yeah, you can't bring them here because it's classed as sort of like I don't know why, something to do with maybe like it's been classed as like business waste or commercial waste or something." So they wouldn't accept them. So now I've got to try and smuggle all the products underneath a load of other rubbish I'm taking there, just so if they do look in the bag, they just see the other rubbish on top before they actually get to what the product is. And then I have to sort of dart them about in different bins, and it's a right pain in the arse trying to get rid of them.
I had a really interesting experience at a recycling center the other day where this unbelievably charismatic American guy worked at the tip. And I was like, how does an American with your charisma end up working in a recycling center in the southwest of Bristol? It was just I was so interested by this guy's story.
They're all so overly charismatic to the point where it's just very annoying.
Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, Americans, when I went there the first time, I was in awe of how charismatic they are. It's like a performance, isn't it?
It is. I think it's just so different to how we are in the UK, and then it's just shocks the system when you first encounter one.
Hi everyone, I hope you're well. Question for Sam Lav. You mentioned in a previous live most of your listings are under 50 sales per month. Approximately how many listings do you have?
So I wouldn't say most of them. I don't know. Maybe are they under? They're probably averaging about 50, and maybe slightly under, between like 50 and 30 and 50. I have active at the minute. Let me have a look. I'll show you. 242 SKUs which are active. But bear in mind, I probably have quite a few products with multiple SKUs. So I'll probably say about 200 products I've got. Active at the moment.
Mr. Hayden, you said you used to do OA in the USA. How did you find that? Online arbitrage in the US is an entirely different kettle of fish to doing it in the UK. Americans love spending money in a way that British people just can't even fathom. And I respect the hell out of them for it. Like, you guys have so much money in comparison to UK households.
Yeah, it's crazy. And they're happy to they're happy to spend it as well. Whereas I guess that's probably why, because they have more money. Whereas people in the UK, like it's so expensive. Salaries are absolutely dreadful. Like you said the other day, I think I can't remember. I don't know. You listed off some averages or something about every household goes out for dinner maybe like once a week or once every couple of weeks or something like that. Just because that's all people can afford. Whereas in America, it's completely different. They've just got so much more money than we have in the UK.
Athea said, when you say products with multiple SKUs, do you mean you sell on different variations, or have I overcomplicated that? I think you're misunderstanding, but I'll let you answer because it was to you.
So multiple SKUs. So I have different SKUs depending on when I bought the product or how much I bought the product for. So it's all for the same listing. So the ASIN and the listing is exactly the same. But let's say if I buy the product today, it's going to have one type of SKU, because in my SKU I have purchase date, the where I'm buying from, the cost of goods, the estimated sale price, and the quantity I purchased. Now, if I then buy the product again tomorrow or next week, that's then going to generate another SKU, because the purchase date is going to be different, or the cog might have changed slightly. So that's then going to be another SKU. So I could theoretically have, like, let's say 10 SKUs, or maybe not, that's quite a lot, but I could have like 4 SKUs for like one listing, just because of the different dates I purchased them and the different prices I purchased them at. And having custom SKUs is just it's just super helpful, especially when like repricing and analyzing deals, because you can see exactly when you bought it, how much you bought it for, and how many units you bought, and it just helps massively with quick analysis.
Yeah, so I just typed in the chats, guys, a custom SKU example. I actually did it with dashes, but technically it would be underscores. So as an example, it would be the date of purchase, the buy price, the sell price, expected sell price, an acronym of where you bought it from. So if you bought it from Argos, it might be ARG, and then a unique number to differentiate it from other orders of the same listing. That's one of the ones that we've used previously. Is yours any different?
To the one you put on, I put date, buy price, sell price, source. I don't have a unique number. I used a unique number, but I didn't see the point in it. So I
Yeah,
got rid.
date kind of does that already, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So instead of unique number, I just put in the how many units I purchased. That's really helpful as well, knowing how many units you purchased, because if you're buying from, I guess it depends where you buy from, right? If you're buying from a certain retailer who has a discount code, you kind of want to know how many units to purchase. If you're rebuying that, it helps you know how many units to purchase before the discount code maybe doesn't become as profitable, or how many units you need to purchase in order to get the profitable price. Like with some discount codes, you'll get 20% off anything, but you have to spend like £100 or something like that. So I know, right, if I got 6 in my SKU, I know that I had to buy 6 in order to get that 20% off. Or likewise, if it's from a retailer who maybe cancel lots of orders, I know, right, well, last time I placed an order of 6 and that got dispatched and sent to me, they didn't cancel it. So I know if I go with 6 again, then that should work. So I think, yeah, that's, for me, it's super helpful number.
Noticed on your vids you have extensions, etc., for cashback sites. These are good way just for earning extra. Right, really good question, Jay. So I did a post in our free Discord community the other day in announcements, and then in the community chat. Every single day, we get beginners in these live calls telling us they're really struggling to find profitable leads. And then when I found out, we have a discount gift card portal. I found out from our supplier that less than 100 people had signed up to it, which we have a community of 1,600, and less than 40 people were actually purchasing from it. And I was thinking, wow, okay, I really need to do a much better job at educating people on how to actually do this business model correctly. You can't just go to a website and expect the standard price to be cheap enough to sell for profit. That's just not how this works. The way Amazon works in the arbitrage space is you find profitable products, or I should say, you find products that look like they're close to being profitable. You use coupons to reduce the price. You use discount gift cards to reduce the price. You use cashback to earn extra cash, although you don't factor that into your margin. You use student discount codes, NHS discount codes, referral codes, all of that combined is how you get the product cheap enough to be profitable to resell on Amazon. Standard recommended retail price products are not going to be cheap enough, which is why so many people struggle. You have to be utilizing all of these things. And again, like I actually, on behalf of SellerSmart, we take credit for bringing discount gift cards to the UK because no one was using it. But this is massive in America. Everyone uses them in America. And when we started pushing the UK to start using it, because I learned from Americans, that's why I was using it. And I never had competition on the listings. No one had competition on my listings because I was the only one using discount gift cards. We found out talking to our free community that loads of people don't do it because they're nervous about how to track it with accountancy, but you're literally leaving money on the table. If you are experiencing listings that are bricking regularly, or you're really struggling to find profitable products, it's because you're not manufacturing your margin cheap enough. You have to get the product as cheap as possible. Otherwise, Sam, what's a better analogy that's a bit more professional than pissing in the wind?
I kind of use that one, to be honest with you.
It's an uphill battle. Let's say that.
Battle, yeah, there you go. I'm not very PC, you know that.
No, me neither. But I've been told to be.
So do I, but I kind of ignore
it. All right. What else have we got? So let's get some talking points up. Sam, how much do you pay attention to clearance opportunities? Is this something you're actively looking at all the time? Is it something you just check as and when?
In terms of like certain retailers buying stock?
Yeah, like is looking deliberately for clearance sections part of your routine, or do you just do it now and again?
Yeah, I guess it's part of my routine. Like a lot of the products I purchase are maybe not a lot of them, but I'm trying to think percentages wise, I don't really know, but it definitely happens. It's probably not so much that we're actively looking for them, but we just sort of find them. Like there's certain retailers where we purchase from where you can see exactly how many's in stock, and the goal is to try and clear all of them if possible. And that's why clearance sections is so good. Like there's one retailer in particular who I spend loads and loads of money with, and between me and a couple of other guys I work with, if something drops on there and let's say there's 100 units in stock and I only really want like 25 of them, then we'll send it to the other guys and say, right, you guys all clear, and then we can just get rid of all the stock, and then that way no one else can buy it. We've held on to all of it and we've sort of cleared them out. And it happens like quite often. A lot of the times when a deal pops up, like especially like the group I'm in, we've created loads of different bots and stuff, and one of the bots is like a stock checker. So it checks the stock on a certain retailer's website. So we track loads of different websites, and we can put the URL in there. It's going to tell us exactly how much is in stock, and then based on that, we can then decide, right, let's completely clear it and get rid of every single unit amongst us lot, and then that way it's be more beneficial to us. So I guess it's not something we actively search, but like once we found a product, it is always something we check out and try and get them gone.
We're going to have to add more bot stuff into the mentorship, aren't we? Definitely going to have to start adding them in.
Yeah, definitely. And some of them are pretty easy to create, to be honest with you. Claude does 99% of the work.
I think we had we did have a question. Apart from storefront, manual, and keep a product finder, are there any other sourcing methods? Yeah, absolutely there are. So you've mentioned the storefront sourcing, which typically we do with SellerAmp SaaS. You've got manual sourcing, reverse sourcing, rabbit hole method, keep a product finder, email newsletter. Did we say that? Yeah, email newsletter sourcing is one of my favorites.
Hot UK deals, yeah, cashback. I don't know if you mentioned that. But yeah, there's loads of different methods. It's just about what works for you.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the trick. There are loads of different methods, but you want to just pick one or two and stick to them. and you want to master them. If you're trying to learn too many at the same time, you're going to have less effective results.
Yeah, exactly. I think like when you first get started, you want to give all of them a go, because you want to figure out which ones you like and which ones you don't like. So when you first start, try them all and then just see how you get on with them. And then after a couple of weeks or months or whatever, then think, okay, well, I'm kind of having more success with this one, or I prefer this one. This one takes up less time, or this one I'm sort of having better results with. And then just stick with two, and then just as a case of really mastering them and trying to get really, really good at them. Like that saying, what jack of all trades, master of none. So I think focusing on one or two. And most of the sellers who do really, really well are always doing one or two particular methods and just rinsing and repeating them, rather than trying to juggle everything and anything.
You getting any questions on your side of TikTok? I noticed you haven't had any.
Nothing at all, mate. There's quite a lot of people joining, but just no questions.
Guys on TikTok or wherever you're watching from, send us questions. Let us know how we can help you today. All right.
No, hold on. Oh, no, that's the question you just read out. Don't worry.
All right, Sam. So, why do we recommend 30% return on investment? And what do you recommend people aim for when they hit VAT registered status?
I think 30% ROI is what you should aim for as a minimum. The reason for that, and I think I'll go into it. So 30% ROI, I think, is what you should aim for, especially at the beginning, as an absolute minimum. The problem is that there's a lot of leakage in Amazon, and when you're starting out and at the beginning, it's not something you really account for. Obviously, in the mentorship, we cover that a lot. We've done a few videos on it, and I sort of tell people how to manage the leakage. But if you're not obviously in the group, then you're not going to know that. So you're covering yourself by having 30% ROI. You're covering yourself massively, because there's going to be stuff which you're leaking and you're just not going to know about it. So a 30% ROI can very quickly go down to like 20%, and your margins can then be very, very slim at the end of the year, especially if you're not accounting for any leakage. Whereas if you're accounting for leakage, then you can afford to go slightly lower. Again, not at the start, not when you're not VAT registered. I think when you get to a point where you're doing like more than $1 million, let's say like 1.5 million a year, then you can start looking at going down below that. But I think you can definitely do up to like $1 million a year in revenue at 30% ROI. And I don't think there's any need to drop below that. And having a solid ROI is really healthy for your business. Your margin is going to be bigger and better. You've got more leeway there to account for leakage and a few other things. Whereas if you start running at like 20% ROI, then you can very quickly be running at like sub 5% margin at the end of the year, when you're sort of accounting for all leakage and everything like that, and it makes a huge difference. I know a seller, I'm not going to out his name, but to be fair, I know quite a few sellers, but one in particular, he on the face of it looked like he was doing really well. Like his SDK always looked good, like making 15 to 20k every single month. So yeah, that all looked solid. ROI was around sort of 20%. And then at the end of the year, he messaged me and said, "Oh, I've just spoken to my accountant and he's told me I've actually made a loss this year, and I'm trying to figure out why." And then after we sort of went a bit back and forward, asking a load of questions, had a look at a few things, and I said, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Like there's so much stuff you haven't accounted for at all, and that's just eaten away at all your profit. So that was working at a 20% margin, and he was doing like over $1 million a year, and he somehow ended up making a loss. So it can happen. It's happened to loads of people, and that's why it's so important. If you had a healthier ROI at like 30%, then he could have accounted for some of that, and the loss wouldn't have been so bad, and he might have actually made some money. But even then, there was so much leakage which he just hasn't accounted for at all, that he was just absolutely hemorrhaging money, and it was just disastrous. So, and this is, again, I've said this over and over again, That's why it's so important. You need to know your numbers. SDK and Sellerboard and all these tools, they're fine from an inventory management point of view, and they're fine from looking at how much money you're making per individual sale. But as a whole, as like a monthly whole, weekly whole, yearly whole, they are not accurate. You need to be speaking with your accountant. You need to be running profit and loss reports. You need to know your numbers, because just these SDK tools, this not going to cut
it. Narissa said, how do you keep your VAs motivated? Incentive structures, regular meetings, so a meeting every week, celebrating their wins, providing them with thank yous when they're performing well. So we work with people in the Philippines. Let's say they've got a broken keyboard or a broken mouse or a damaged monitor. If you can get a really cheap one to replace it for them, they're really appreciative of that. Showing your appreciation, having one-to-one feedback every month, having a one-to-one where you set them KPIs and goals and you score them based on their performance. One of the biggest, I used to be a manager for Microsoft, right? One of the biggest indicators of what kept employees in their careers was regular feedback from their seniors. So regular feedback, weekly meetings, celebrate their wins, deliver constructive feedback politely. There's the shit sandwich, give them a compliment, tell them the constructive feedback, and then give them a compliment again. And just make sure they're aware that if they have a bad day doesn't define their performance. It's the average over the week. And if they are struggling, give regular feedback and document it. And then, you can make your decisions down the line if they're still not working well. But it's a repetitive job. Some people love it. Some people just do it because they need money. And every VA that you work with is different. Some people are going to be naturally really enthusiastic. Other people are going to be a bit doom and gloom. Just like any human, everyone is different.
Yeah, pretty much exactly what you said. Yeah, you said pretty much exactly what I was going to say anyway. I think incentives are pretty key. Obviously, feedback, especially like positive feedback, especially when they're not doing so well. VAs take it to heart massively. Like if they feel like they're underperforming, then they will really start taking it to heart and be very sort of doom and gloom. Whereas if you can keep them motivated in that time, it's going to help, and just keep reassuring them and giving them positive feedback. It does help a
lot. Jay said, do you want me to send you newbie question sheet for future reference? I've got tons. Yeah, do it, mate. That would be really helpful. Thank you. Alan Guth said, what was Sam's spend for July and what was Sam's VA spend for July and total spend for July?
Alan, you ask that question every live. Let's have a little look.
I noticed your revenue has picked up a bit recently, 1.8.
Yeah, this month's been good.
To give people context, sorry, just before you say, Sam does 2 million a year, but this year he's been working on decreasing revenue, increasing profit. And how much extra profit is it you've made this year versus last year so far?
I don't know. Let me have a little look. It was, I can't remember now. I haven't done it for about a month, so let's take a look.
Go.
In terms of spend, I haven't spent like loads actually. I spent total spend for the VAs. One VA did 17,000. The other VA's done 17,000. And then in total, we've done 55,000 for the month. I haven't actually bought anything this week, just because of some issue I'm having. But yeah, not loads. And to be honest with you, I kind of gone against what I advise. Like 90% of that has been on one retailer. I've just absolutely hammered them this month. And the average ROI is really solid, but it's not showing on here. But yeah, average ROI is super high this month. And that's why I've just been hammering this one retailer, just because they got a really good sale on, and they've finished now. Just try and get as much spend through them as possible. So spend's not massive, but average ROI is really good, and overall profit should be really good from that. Now let's have a look. Let's compare. Let me just screenshot that so I can see it. I should take a photo.
Jay said, what profit percentage per month over your salary is enough to quit and still compound and grow, would you say? Really good question. What we typically say is, how much is your cost of living? So say you need £2,000 to survive, which I live in an expensive part of the UK, so £2,000 is very low. But let's just say it's £2,000. Ideally, if you're going to take £2,000 out of the business, you want to be making at least 4,000 profit a month for 3 months in a row. That shows you that your strategy is consistent. And that's a really good indication that you can go full time. Really important note. Imagine when you get to £4,000 a month so that you can pay yourself 2,000, you've been doing that part-time alongside your career job. Typically, people who go full-time put all of their effort into Amazon and it explodes. It just absolutely goes off like a rocket. The more time you can put into it, the better. And it's a very exciting time when you get to that level. At that kind of level, you should be kind of looking into prep centers, virtual assistants. When I say prep center, our virtual assistants. But yeah, by that time, you want to be delegating and outsourcing to reduce your hours in the business so that you can focus on the high return on investment tasks like sourcing, like skill development, like automation, systems building, and probably AI these days.
So, I guess figures from last year to this year. So currently this year, I've done 155,000 pounds less revenue, but I've done £10,000 in more profit, and my units have dropped by exactly half. So I've done half the units, 150k less, and I've done 10k more profit. So yeah, it's made a big difference.
When people are beginners, Sam, I think they're going to find it really hard to conceptualize why that is such a big deal, because someone might just say, oh, it's only 10 grand profit, but you're making a lot less revenue. I think it's a good idea for us to help people understand how complicated Amazon gets at that scale. So do you want to break down why that's so much easier of a business model to manage?
It's so much easier. One, less units is great for me because it means generally less orders are being placed, less units going to the prep center. So less orders means less admin. It means less invoices I need to check. It means less problems going wrong, less deliveries being received, less prep. So it's costing me half the price this year compared to last year in terms of prep fees. So that again in itself, that would be a couple of grand sort of saving. Less headaches, less reimbursements. I'm going to have to chase up, less repricing I'm going to have to do because I'm going to have less products to reprice. It's just much less work, and you're making more profit. Although higher rev's great because I guess higher rev you get more spend, and then more spend you then get more sort of like credit card points, cashback, that sort of thing. But which is, don't get me wrong, it's still very good. But I think doing less work but making more money is a much better position, especially if anyone knows me, I am a very lazy Amazon seller. So the less work I can do, the better. And something like this is, it makes a big difference. And look, revenues, like what I was saying, revenues vanity. So it's all very good having these high revenue numbers, but at the end of the day, it's what's in your bank and how much profit you're actually making every year is what makes the real difference.
Yeah, 100%. Hardeep, welcome, mate. Welcome to live. Said, hi, guys. I have a restricted policy violation and my account health is 196. Worried about sales. You'll be fine. Appeal the policy violation. You have a restricted policy violation. Yeah, you can appeal it. I don't know specifically what's happening with that violation, so I can't really give you bespoke advice on it. But just appeal it, provide the invoices you have. If they take down the ASIN, if they remove the ASIN, there's not a lot you can do about that. Sometimes it comes back. If you did your analysis properly, you should be okay. But sometimes newbies sell on listings that they're actually not allowed to sell on. And that would just be a mistake you've made. But don't worry, you'll be okay. Just rebound and continue. If you appeal and provide all the evidence and Amazon reject it, that is normal. Just keep trying. Anything you would add to that on a restricted policy violation?
Restricted policy violation. There's not really much you can do about that, to be honest with you. What can you do? Amazon's just decided to hit you with a restricted one of these. Like, there's nothing you can do. Like, again, as Sean said, as long as the listing has been sold correctly and everything like that, you've sort of done everything you can. Like, I've had it before where products have just gone sort of into given a restricted policy violation and everything's fine above board, and even Amazon are on the listing as well, and they've just sort of shut the listing down. It's just one of those things. Like, it happens, like if a product gets recalled, it happened recently with I think it was like a vacuum cleaner or something like that. The manufacturer recalled the product and then it brought the listing down. But again, there's nothing you can do about that. That's just the manufacturer realized there was a fault and then recalled it. So as long as you're checking what Sean said and just making sure the listing is set up correctly and it all looks good, then you should be fine for the most part. But unfortunately, not really much can help it.
Narissa said, thank you for all your help today. The VA I got was through SellerSmart, and Reese has really helped motivate me to start treating this as a real business. I'll have to go and source now. Really, really appreciate you joining the live. And Amazon is a great side hustle alongside your career job. It is a real business. You definitely need to treat it that way. I just want to touch on what Hardeep said as well. Hardeep said it was a pharmacy-only item in Europe, but not in this country. I'll be honest with you, my friend, that sounds like a really risky purchase. I probably wouldn't have bought that myself.
Yeah, you need to be careful with medical and health and personal sort of products which aren't being bought in the UK. Supplements, for example, supplements from iHerb is something you should be avoiding massively because you get hit with restricted policy violations all the time. I know someone who, this was years ago now, who always used to go super deep and buy loads of products from iHerb, and then he had almost half his inventory just wiped off because Amazon just restricted it all. And especially like medicines and stuff like that, and even like supplements, depending where you got it from, the country could have different laws on what ingredients are approved and not approved. Like American ingredients, they allow any old stuff in their products, and the UK and EU are very tight and have a lot of restrictions in certain ingredients which can go in things. So if you're bringing something over from America and you're trying to list it in the UK, then a lot of the time that product shouldn't actually be sold in the UK. So you need to be super careful with stuff like that, and especially where you're buying it from as well, because there can be a lot of risk with stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. Sam, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to call it here just because I've got someone's interested in the mentorship and they want to have a call in the next 5 minutes. So I'm going to go grab some snacks.
Yeah, that's fine. I've got a call with Terry anyway, which I blew him off for you. So better keep him happy.
All right, guys, thank you ever so much for joining today. We have a free Discord community that you can get to, link in the bio. As you can see by the banner, depending on where you watch from, we've got an entire ecosystem so that everything you guys need, you can get from us. If you want to talk to us about our mentorship, let's schedule a call. If you follow us, we'll follow you back. That's how we message each other on the DMs. You can either message us on Instagram or on Discord directly. I hope you guys have a lovely day. Sam, when are you next live?
Tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, amazing. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Wish though. But yeah, see you guys then.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.